Hello everyone, let's get the show on the road. A little bit early, but let's get the show on the road. Don't forget the risk. If you're not sure of the risk, most traders lose money. And if you don't like losing money and you don't like risk, you probably shouldn't be trading. Hey, hope you're all well. I hope you're all having a great trading week, great trading month, great trading year for that matter. Everybody is wondering if the stock market's in a giant bubble. Is the stock market in a giant bubble? Is it all going to crash? Is it all going to fall down? Well, we'll find out, won't we? We'll have a look at it. We'll see how it looks. The S&P 500 seems to be bouncing off of this support. Looks like it wants to go back up at the moment. How far will it go? Seems to be in a bit of a downward trend at the moment. Broken through that trend support. Looking a bit ominous, eh? Well, we're just waiting for everybody to join, and while we do that, perhaps we should just go and have a look at the news. Shall we go and have a look at the news and see what's going on in the news at the moment? Let me just have a look here. There we go. See if I can find the news for us. Yeah, there's the news. Let's go and have a look at the news and see what's been happening over the last couple of days. Hopefully my face is not in the way. Probably is. How's it, Coral? The stock market might be Trump's strongest check and balance. Okay, let's have a look. Bitcoin traders are hedging against a drop to $70,000. Now, you might remember when I was looking at the charts, I said that's the figure I'm looking for. I'm looking for those 70,000s for a nice buy on Bitcoin. If we can get it down there, that would be fantastic. I'm looking for that correction, hoping for that correction. Nvidia wavers after earnings top. Nvidia, let's see how Nvidia is doing, just out of interest, because we have Nvidia as a stock or as an investment. And I would love to see what Nvidia is actually doing at the moment. The yearly target's still 173. No problem with that. PE ratio is a bit high, but that's just perfectly normal, eh? That's how it goes when you're busy with or investing. Investing is really important. You guys have got to know that you should be investing rather than trading, actually, because investing over the next 30 years will probably pay you quite well. Let's have a look at Elliott ramps up pressure on BP. Snowflake stock jumps. HSBC says it's time to end negative bias. And bond investors are betting the Fed will shift focus from inflation. And they're expecting more interest rate cuts. That's no big deal. The market will always be the market. How's it, Darkov? Hey, welcome. Sup, Robs? Oh, no. Let's see if we get a load of people on the show today. Let's get this show rocking, man. Let's get going. I'm here a bit early because I thought, let's just get it on the go. It's not even 1:30 yet. But while we're here, I thought I'll just have a quick look at the news and just see Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ futures climb with focus on Nvidia. You know, Nvidia is going to pick the markets up if it does well. Well, I mean, if it has done well, but I mean, if people buy into it and whatnot, because, you know, the Tech 100 tends to push the S&P 500 up quite insanely. Here's your funded trader market, still going strong. If you guys are looking for an account, these are the prices. Link is in the description, by the way. Here's your investment calculator. These are free. This is if you want to work out your position sizes. Go to MyFX Books, totally free. I don't know. I don't think you ever have to pay for anything there. I don't even have a sign-in account or anything. I just use it. Okay, so let's pop over to the charts then, and let's go and carry on with the charting like we usually do, and maybe buy something today. How's it, Eugene? Good to see you again. Where are we here? Let's just go over to the charts and go and see what we got on the charts. I was just looking at the news while I was waiting for everyone to pop in. Just thought we're interested. You know, we don't trade on the news, but it's always interesting to have a look at it. Let's have some coffee. Hey Rob, we are currently in a safe haven run market regime. So the trade, Euro Canadian dollar with W bottom break 1494. Then I took the trade long. I made 75 puts. Well done, Coral. That's absolutely excellent. Our trade of the day today hasn't played out. It's I was looking out of there. It didn't. It actually broke through the support. So we didn't take a trade at all yet. the view would have been to have a stop loss at 28.80 because it was below the lows. Now the low is even lower than that. It's 28.75. So it's obviously taking money out in this area. If you take a long trade from here, the problem is you're sort of going up into the what is now resistance, and there's not much room here. I think what we'll do is we'll wait and see if it breaks to the upside and goes through. That would be great. There's a big line at the top here, a big resistance at the top here, which is holding it up at 29.50. Now, why is that? Why is it sitting here at 29.50? Because 3,000 is actually the round number, but 29.50 is also a kind of round number as well. So probably just whacking up against that 29.50 there as well. What we'll do is we'll wait and see if it breaks through the short-term trend over here, goes to the upside, and then you can see if it's going to do well. I told my older brother that people can earn money out of Bitcoin's downtrend, and he got like, wow, WTF, how? Yeah, well, that's the whole point, yeah. You know, you could short it, but I actually don't want to short it. I've been saying for a long time now, I'm waiting for this thing to fall down to about 70,000, and then we can all do a quick buy and see if we can make some money back up to the 100,000, because I think it'll go back up again. I don't want to sit in it for too long, though. I don't trust Bitcoin at all. US 500 as well. I was hoping that it'll get down to these 57 levels. Nice correction. We can buy into that with a sort of more kind of long-term view, you know, with a view to it going back up to 64, 66 over the period. That'll be great. That'll be great. If we can get a nice correction, you get in at a nice level and you get it all the way up there, that'll be fantastic. People think that trading is shady, but you know, the stock market has been around for a million years. Okay, not a million years. A Scotsman invented it back in, I don't know if it was the 50s or early years, I mean 20s, I don't know. And he invented the stock market in Europe somewhere. I think it was in France at the time. But what it's about at the end of the day, right in the whole start of this was being able to invest in somebody else's company. So if you start a business and you need money to start that business, one of the first routes you might take is popping down the local bank and asking them if they'll give you a loan. And they might not like you. And they might turn around and say, but you know, you don't have a job. You can't pay this money off. We don't trust you with our money, so we're not going to give you any money. So the basis of that is, so how am I going to get my money? Oh, wait a minute. There's a whole load of people out there that might trust me and might invest in my company. And then you offer people the opportunity to buy into your company and finance your company effectively. This is what stock market's all about. So what you're doing is you're investing into a company. Basically, you're financing that company, and that company grows with your money in it. And that's just kind of expanded over the years to investing in gold and commodities and Forex and all the rest of it, and creating markets where people buy and sell from each other and that type of thing. That's all it is at the end of the day. So yeah, while people call it you know, a shady activity, as you say, they don't understand what it's about. What I don't like is, for example, products like crypto that were not properly regulated, because products need to be regulated to protect the end user like you and me, and like even big companies. When you invest in the stock market, you know, it's regulated and protected in a way. And crypto was not really protected and regulated properly. Still isn't, as far as I'm concerned. And the trouble with it is there's no asset value to it. There's no, it just feels like a bubble, like fresh air. So crypto I am a little bit concerned about, and a lot of people are getting involved in it. And it is giving the market a more shady name than it already had. So yeah, you know, you got to watch out for that. The other thing that gives the market a shady name, of course, is all these people promoting that you can make millions out of it, that it's going to make you a fortune overnight and all this type of stuff. And it's all lies at the end of the day, whichever way it's done. Because at the end of the day, the market is really about time in the market, not timing the market. Trading is fun. What we're doing here is trading, but I'm not promoting to you that you can make millions out of this. I'm promoting to you that you can make money out of it. I am showing you that there is a possibility and a way for you to make money with it. And I have done over many years. But I'm not saying that you're going to buy a Lamborghini from trading in the markets. That's not what I'm saying. That's the problem. Too many people promote that, and then people get involved in it, and they think it's all about squiggly lines or algorithms and bots and things like that. And then they wake up in the morning and find out that their coffee's cold and mine is not. That's just, that's why markets get this label or this thing, is because the expectation is something completely different to what you get out of the market at the end of the day. And that's where the big problem comes in at the end of the day. Catch a falling knife. Any fundamentals why Bitcoin is breaking down? BTC is crazy. I don't like to trade it. Japanese rice trader. The fundamentals, there is some fundamentals on why Bitcoin is breaking down. I didn't look at them, to be quite honest with you, so we can go and have a look and see. But at the end of the day, if you look at the technicals, that's all you need if you don't know what the fundamentals are. Now, I don't follow crypto that closely that I know all the fundamentals behind it, but it's got a lot to do with the way Trump's and Elon and all these guys are working on it and promoting it and not promoting it and all that sort of stuff. And it's all Chinese to me. Doesn't make sense. Sorry for any Chinese people out there. It's just I use that terminology when I don't understand something because I don't understand Chinese. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, if you look at technicals, that will give you a lot of information on anything. If you're trading Forex, if you're trading a share, and you don't know much about it, you don't have to panic. You don't have to worry about it. You can just look at it and say, oh, it's broken through that support. It's heading on to the downside. So this is what all the other traders are doing. This is what the big money is doing. The real money, the people who really know what's going on. Because even if we didn't know the fundamentals, we wouldn't know as much as those guys. Those guys have got all the information sitting at Morgan Stanley and all those guys. They've got all the information. We don't have it all. So what you do is you look at the charts for that information, and it tells you that they've decided to sell. There's big red candles going down here. It's telling you that they're selling. So it's not like a crash or anything. It's just a lack of confidence. I've been expecting this correction technically for a long time, and hopefully it'll continue on and give us the 70,000 that we're looking for. But we can go and have a look at this. There was some news on it, and I'm going to go and let me just make this a little bit smaller because we're going to go and have a look at news now, and it might just get affected by my mug being in the way. Boom. The finance. I did see something on it here. Let's just go and have a wee look. Where was it? Where did I? Bitcoin traders are hedging against the drop to 70,000. Let's just go and see what they say fundamentally. I hope that video doesn't start playing now because that's going to be like pretty irritating. There we go. Just stop it there. You see, with the so-called Trump bump fading across markets, Bitcoin options are showing that investors and traders are hedging against a decline in cryptocurrency to levels last seen just after election day. A number of outstanding contracts for put options. Largest crypto options exchange. Bitcoin has tumbled 20% since Donald Trump's January inauguration as his combative stance against allies and geopolitical rivals alike shakes investor confidence and concerns about elevated inflation. The crypto sector was also shook by a record hack of the Bybit exchange last week. So there you go. There's your answer. There's your fundamental reason for Bitcoin falling down. The crypto sector was also shook by a record hack of the Bybit exchange last week. So I think that's an important sentence. That's probably got a lot to do with this hack, this move. That's probably made a lot of difference to the whole situation. So you probably find But that little sentence has made all the difference to what's going on in Bitcoin. So if you didn't know, now you know. Now you know what the situation is. And let's go back to the funded trader market, C trader. Let me just find my way around here again. You know, I'm a bit slow, I'm old. Let's get it back onto the, there you go, funded trader markets. There we go. That's it. Okay, so this is our funded account, guys. As you know, we've got the funded account for all of us. If you've got any trades, we're looking at taking them. If they're any good, we'll put them in and we'll put them on, because we've got no trades at the moment. We're out of trades. Our history is not that bad this last week. We've had 2 losses and quite a few wins, so that's not too bad, but we've got no positions at the moment. That's not to say we have to force a position. It is close to the end of the week, and we don't want to be forcing positions, and we certainly don't want to be sitting in positions over the weekend if we can help it. But this funded trader markets account was put together so that we can trade it together. It's a $25,000 account, and I'm using it so that you guys can learn with me as a sort of a way of helping you guys along. So instead of me opening a $10,000 account and you guys losing it all, I'll only lose the $100 that this account costs. If you want one, there is a link available, but it's in the description. So at the end of the day, I've opened it so that we can trade together, so that you can learn with me together how to trade and so on, and make use of my 30 years of experience in trading that we can put to use, and maybe you can learn something from it. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, hey Robin, your 30 years of experience, how effective was your journaling at the end of day or end of week trading review? Did you have an effective system in tracking improvements with your trading? So my journaling, I stopped journaling quite a while ago. In the beginning, in the early years, it was incredibly useful to me, simply because the markets, when you start out, most of you will know, are quite overwhelming. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot going on. And at the end of the week, you'll be looking at your trades and thinking, why did I lose or why did I win? So it was a really good idea to journal everything and to keep it in information. And I had quite a big spreadsheet with all the profits and all the losses on it, and all the charts and all the goodies and whatnot. And I used to go back on everything. But I don't need to do that anymore. I don't bother with it. I've kind of settled on a system over the years, as you know, this one. And I've settled on a strategy over the years, as you know. And in the beginning, I journaled it. And then at a point, I just saw that, you know what, I'm wasting my time. You know, don't spend too much of your time on admin that is not necessary, because you're just wasting time that doesn't need to be wasted. I see so many traders out there with a million different spreadsheets and admin things and all this stuff. You spend hours on that when you should be just analyzing your trades and taking your trades at the end of the day. But in the beginning, totally, I journaled for a long time. I just found it to be a complete waste of my time at the end of the day, later years, and because I can remember most of my trades and why I took them and whatnot. And even if I don't, it doesn't really matter to me. I know I took it based on a certain plan, and if I look back on it carefully, I'll see what that plan is. I don't really need to go back and study it or whatever the case. As far as the spreadsheets go and all the rest of it, with all my profits and losses on, that became pretty stupid as well, because here it is, and I can literally draw a statement off here and on the other accounts as well. So whatever account I've got this availability where I can just draw a statement. I can just have a look at how my trades have gone. So there's no need for that either. I don't need to sit and journal it all myself. What's the point of that? There's a lot of guys that play into, or they design little systems on spreadsheets where they believe because a certain moon was made of green cheese and Mars passed it on the 15th, that you know, you might just get a positive move in the market because this is happening or whatever. Believe me, I've tried all those different things. None of them work. The market's subjective. It's not objective. The market's subjective. It's about human beings, and it depends on the day on who's saying what at the end of the day. what's happening in the markets, what's happening in the world. This, as you can see, this is Bitcoin, right? This is Bitcoin. You just said, now, what are the fundamentals behind this fall? We had a look on the news, one sentence, one little thing. There was a hack on Bybit last week. There you go. And there's a bit of pushback from Donald Trump. Okay, all it needed was that extra push, and there she goes. Now tell me that's objective. Tell me that's an objective move, that's got something to do with maths. It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with maths. It's got everything to do with human beings. Now, yes, you can look at this chart and say it's an objective move and say, well, I can read the charts and I can read what's happening. I can see it's broken through these levels. It's taken out that money. It's heading to the downside. And you can follow it clearly and see what's happening. That's great. That's fantastic. That's a high probability situation. But the cause of that has got nothing to do with maths. It's got nothing to do with objectivity. It's all subjective at the end of the day. It was caused by something that was said in the marketplace. That's what causes it. US 500 moving up or moving down is caused by sentiment. It's caused by how people feel in the market. Should I buy? Should I sell? If this gets down to 5,700, my emotions are going to tell me I want to buy because I'm now thinking this is corrected nicely. I want to invest in this because I want to get some profit at a later stage. It's as simple as that, guys. There's nothing mathematical about it. It's subjective. It's all subjective, because from there it could still fall all the way to zero if it wanted to. It's a market. So yeah, this Bybit thing though, this looks like a lot of noise. Exactly, that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making about trading. It's subjective. Somebody makes a noise and something happens. That's always going to be like that. Don't expect that to change. In over the 30 years that I've been trading, I've seen it over and over and over again. I told you guys that I used to hang my hat on the news. I would sit and I would look at the news all day, every day. That was my thing. My TV was constantly on the news and playing. My wife would drive me nuts. She'd be like, "What? Can't you change the channel?" And it's crazy, but you get so addicted to it and so involved in it. And the smallest thing, it's like, oh, I must buy, oh, I must sell. For years I did that. Like with the journaling everything, checking everything out. There was an aha moment that came to me many years ago. I can't give you the exact amount of years, I'm not sure, but it's somewhere halfway through my journey. I mean, I spent many of my years going through all these learning curves, which you guys won't have to if you listen to me. But I can tell you guys, I went through all those learning curves, and there was an aha moment that came to me and said, why? Why are you doing all this? Everything's subjective. There's nothing objective about this. I mean, this news, this market moves this way and then it moves that way, and what am I doing, you know? And then journaling and thinking I'm working out some kind of mathematical formula to my success. No, there is no mathematical formula to your success. The only formula is a strategy and a business plan. The strategy, as you know, and I put forward to you guys on a regular basis. And the only thing that's solid in that is keep your risk the same on every trade and try and make more on your wins. Understand your loss, learn to take a loss, and then you'll make a profit at the end of the day. Takes time. Takes a long time. I struggle sometimes to make big profits. I have a couple of bad months in the year. I have a couple of good months in the year. It's trading. But you know what does well for me constantly, all the time? My investments. Always. I'm invested in shares. I keep adding to those shares. I leave them alone, and they make me a fortune. That's the best thing you can ever have is time in the market. Time in the market will always, always make you money. I regret on many occasions when I wanted to buy things like a property here or a car there or something there, and then I withdrew money from investments way back in the day. I regret that. I really do. Why did I do that? It makes a big hole in your investment, and it actually would have multiplied so much more. You know, you tend to do that. Try not to do that if you can help it. But I know you get those times when you need the dosh, you know, you need the money. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a buy but mistake, not Bitcoin's floor. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. You know, it's just one of those things. Hey, Shane. Are you able to play defensively aggressively within the markets with strategy, adjusting tight to a larger stop loss accordingly? Does this come down to intuition? Yes, it does. But what I will do, you'll see often what I do is I'll have a look at a trade. And let's say I was going to go long on the US 500 right now. I'm not going to, but let's say I was going to. What I would do is I would simply look at these lows. You see these lows here? I see all these lows. I spot them just immediately. There's a whole bunch of lows. I will put my stop loss below those lows. That's that's not intuition. That's direct. I can see it. Sometimes I'll do it on intuition, but that's where I want my stop loss. Now I'm going to work out, okay, on this account, it would be $250, right? Or somewhere around there. Guys, it does not have to be exactly 250. It can be 230, it can be 260, it can be 200. Just somewhere around there, close by, right? So keep the loss pretty much the same. So I'm going to risk $250. Then what I'll do is we'll work out how much from this 58.93.7 or 58.95, say, how much is $250 up to the cost? How many contracts, how many lots can I take? And then take those lots and work out, can I make a decent profit up to this level, which would, my take profit is going to be up here at the resistance. That's as simple as it gets. You know, you don't have to make it difficult when it comes to that sort of thing. So if you're working out stop loss, aggressive, defensive, if you want a tight stop loss and you see you want to take a shorter trade, try not to put your stop loss within areas because you see what happens is there's this whole thing where they say the pros are searching out your stop loss. They're not. They're not searching for anything. They're not interested in your little stop loss. What they're interested in is where all the money is. And where do you think, if you look at this chart, where do you think all the money is? All the money's here. All the money's lying down here, and it's lying all the way down to these lows. That's where all the money is. That's where everybody's put their stop losses in. That's where everybody's left orders. So that's what the pros are looking for. They're looking for that general area. So what you want to do is just put your stop loss beyond it in the hopes that they won't reach it. Or that a bunch of other people won't do the same thing. And then it'll just get to your stop loss. Okay. So that's how you look at your strategy. That's how you work with the strategy. This S&P 500, when I look at it, I'm looking at it and saying, well, that would be a long because it's coming out of the support. But there is a trend support, which is now a trend resistance retest coming up here. It might just hit the retest and come on down. So I'm not comfortable taking the long here yet. I'd actually like it to come all the way down to the lower levels and give us a better entry. A lot of the market comes with intuition. As I said to you, the market's subjective. After years of trading, you just get a feeling for where things are going to go, if things are going to work out. It's a pity we got no trades today because I had so many trades open the other day and I could have showed you nicely how the stops were working. But there are two ways to do it. How would you move your stops to a winning position? Effectively, what I'll do is I'm going to use this account as an example now because normally I use the cash account, which is the $100,000 account. But on this account, what I'll do is I'll say $250 is the stop loss. When the profit gets into about 150, 175, somewhere around there, it's just intuition. I'll move the stop loss up to cost. And when I move it up to cost or just above cost, I'll also stick a trailing stop on it. Sometimes I'll even put a trailing stop on the trade if it looks like a good trade right from the beginning, because you can do that. You can put a trailing stop on immediately when you take the trade, or you can add it on at a later stage, and then it'll just trail behind it and you can just leave it. But the closer it gets to take profit, so let's say your take profit's at $450. What I would do is I would take the stop loss when it gets to that take profit level and move it right up close behind it, so close, like 20 bucks behind it, 30 bucks behind it. Often it will just come back and take it out because it's right there. But you're happy, you've made a profit, but sometimes it keeps on going. And if it keeps on going and it trails behind it, you're going to take a whole lot of extra profit off the table with it. So that's just an old trick of in the game. You just take the stop loss right up behind it, right up to where it is on the take profit, just sitting there, stick a trailing stop on it, and just let it trail until it comes back and takes it out. And if it's on a run, it's going to give you a hell of a lot more profit all the way up. So you're not just taking your take profit, you're taking a little bit extra as well. If it comes back immediately, sad news, you lost 20 bucks or 30 bucks or whatever the case. You didn't lose anything. You made 400. So what's the deal? And yeah, so look, that's 1% of the account, the $250 stop loss. And then you want to try and make about 400, 500 on that trade. That's as simple as it gets. Now, that's how I manage the stop losses. I'll often just drop a trailing stop onto it and let it go. That's great. You can trail it manually as well. Follow it manually and just see, for example, if you were a pro trader trading millions of shares and you had loads and loads of money and you weren't trading with small amounts, then you would not be able to put an automated stop loss or take profit in the market because there's not enough liquidity for you. And then you would have to do it manually, take it out bit by bit. But then that's a totally different ball game and it's a totally different size of trade. Hello, Sean. The time frame is 4 hours. We're trading on the 4 hour. You can trade on any time frame that you like. We prefer to position trade on the day or the 4 or the 1 hour. And I know a lot of you guys call it swing trading. I don't know why. In my day, it was always called position trading because swing trading is when you take a long and then you swing the trade and you go short. That's swing trading. Position trading is like what we're doing here. You take a position with a view to taking a profit and making a loss or whatever the case. Now, for those of you who like to trade on the 5-minute charts, good luck. 99% of traders do lose there, and you will probably lose there as well. Not something you want to hear, but yeah, that's life. Not many people will win trading on 5-minute charts, although many people will show you that they're winning trading on 5-minute charts. Everybody thinks they can. It's like I always say to you guys, the trouble with trying to scalp the markets is simple. And that is, if you have a strategy, you're not scalping. If you're trading on lower time frames and you're trading on smaller pips, like you're only taking 10 pips profit and things like that, but you have a stop loss strategy, then you're not actually scalping. Then you're actually position trading just in a faster time frame. But if you're scalping, what you're doing is you're quickly taking 10, 5, 15 pips, whatever the case, on every trade. And then you won't have a strategy for your stop loss, and that one trade is going to wipe out all your wins. And that's the big problem with that type of trading. You've got to watch out for that. But there's terminology. I mean, people go on courses and they learn about trading and they come back with all their abbreviations and they come back with all the fancy stuff and all the noise. And, they think they know everything about trading because they know all the terminology when they actually know bugger all. All they know, they don't know how to make money or anything, or the psychology, nothing. All they know is all this rubbish. And at the end of the day, but if you want to go into terminology and you want to go into naming things, then effectively, like I say to you, if you have a proper strategy, no matter what the time frame, you're position trading because you're taking a position, you're positioning it with a view to making either a profit or a stop loss, and that's it. That's as simple as that gets. Scalping is not a strategy. It's a system, and if you don't have a strategy with it, then you will most likely lose. The same as, like trying to trade on a 5-minute chart, like I always explain to you guys, and I'm just going to repeat myself over and over again so that it sinks in for everyone. And that is, if you want to do an experiment and you want to see if something works, and you need a sample size of people to have a look and see if this thing works. You take 5 people, let's say it's a trading system. Take 5 traders, you put them in the room, you say, trade this system and tell me how it works. And I'll open my $1 billion company based on what you tell me. The 5 traders come out, 3 say it's good, 2 say it's bad. Whew, that's it, I'm starting my company. I don't think so. But if you put 1,000 traders in the room and they all trade and they come out and 800 of them tell you it's a good system, then you might start that $1 billion company. The sample size makes the difference. And it's the same as if you're trading on a day, you're trading on a 4-hour chart. The sample size on each candle is that much more reliable because the information is good. On a 5-minute chart, it's like having the 5 people in the room. There's no reliable information on that. That's just something bouncing up and down and moving up and down. And it's going to drive you insane. It's going to drive you completely insane, sitting watching those charts and trying to get it right. And you'll get it right a few times and you'll get confident and then it'll boot you in the butt. Okay. Found more success with being proactive with trailing stop as part of your managing your trades instead of leaving a fixed stop loss and take profit and let price do its thing. You see, what you got to be careful of with a trailing stop, you know, when you say found more success, it really does depend on the time and what's happening. For example, if the Fed's having a meeting, you really don't want to have your stop losses too close. You don't want to have your trailing stops right up there because the spikes are going to take you up. So you've got to watch where you are and what time of the week you are, what time of the year you are, and all that sort of thing as well. What's in the news, that sort of stuff. But yeah, trailing stops make the money better than a fixed stop or a fixed take profit. But I put a fixed take profit, I put a fixed stop loss, and I'll manage it manually, or I'll put the trailing stop on and let it do it for me. But either way, many times I'll close out a trade because I can see the trade is done. Shorting on gold. I don't think that's a great idea, but I'll have a look in a minute. How's it, Kevin? Afternoon, Rob. Just joined after bad IT problems again. Hence my computer's going to the IT shop tomorrow before it goes flying out the window instead. I know the feeling really well. Geez, the amount of computers that I've gone through. And then I will look closely at my trades before unplug the computer, as I don't know about you and anyone else here, but I don't take trades on my phone. I just close trades over the phone. Kevin, I do actually take trades on the phone if I have the capability to do so. Nothing wrong with that. I don't like analyzing it on the phone, I'll be honest with you, because it is awkward. I prefer to analyze on a bigger screen on a computer and whatnot. So yeah, most of my trades are taken on a computer and probably also closed on a phone. But by the same token, yeah, I'm happy to take a trade on the phone if it comes about that it hits a price that I expected it to, and then I'll take it on the phone. There's no problem with that. But not on this account. I'll take it on my cash account, my MT5, because my phone I run the MT5, I run the cash account. On this, I'll only do it when I'm at the computer. I can sign this up onto my phone, but I can't be bothered with it, to be honest with you. Too much hassle, so I don't do it. But yeah, this is all on the computer. I do this all on the computer. I must say, Kevin, yeah, I've got a couple of computers running, but the last computer I built with an AMD Ryzen, and it was actually quite good. It's actually quite decent. Just look into that. I like that. That's quite good. Yeah, I got a couple of screens. My screens are getting old actually, but what size is this one in front of me? 27-inch or something like that. And then the one on the left is maybe a 24. And then another one at the top, which is a lot smaller. Screens all over the place. Everybody's got these fancy like little setups next to each other and whatnot. My screens are like all over the place. That's why I don't point the camera at it, because it's quite messy, to be honest with you. But it's okay, it's cool, you know. I use 3 at the moment, but I have about, I don't know, 6 or 7 all over the place, and TVs and shit, yeah, in the room. But yeah, no, it's I use the 3 here. and that's fine for me. But yeah, I'm not going to show you guys right now. It's an absolute mess. It's not neat and nice like all the other traders with their little 3 screens and everything together and that. Downstairs, I got one of those setups for the fancy stands in another office. But this one is just the screen there, screen up there. And yeah, it's quite messy, but that's real trading. You know, I don't do it for show. Well, I do it for show now. I've got the YouTube channel. Sorry, guys. You're right. I should actually do it for show. But yeah, the real trading was never for show. It was just for trading. But it's nice to use the bigger screens. I agree. It's better to work with. I think with anything, you know, even if I have to fill in a form, like a tax thing or some ridiculous other form from the bank or whatever the case, I hate doing it on my phone, man. Yeah, my fingers are too big. I'd much rather do it on the computer if I can. Just yesterday, I had to fill in one of these money from overseas things and tax and through the special bank and all that. I had to do it on the phone. It's annoying. Much prefer using a computer. But the trouble with computers is they're not secure. You see, whether the phones are really secure. All my phones are Apple, so those are secure. Whereas some of my computers are Windows, and Windows is not the best. Yeah, Kevin, I must get to the fancy setups and colorful backlighting and everything. I think I'll look into it so that I can, you know, we can attract a bigger audience, maybe. You know, it's all show. The aha moment, the milestones. The question is, what milestones, aha moments did you notice that pushed you past the break-even mark onwards to consistent trading behavior? And like I say, about halfway through my trading career, the aha moment, the big aha moment, was that trading is not objective, it's subjective. That trading is not about lines, that trading is not about numbers. Trading is about people, it's about investing, it's about buying things, and it's about buying something with a view to making a profit in the near future, and also learning how to lose, learning that it's more strategy and a psychology than actual just trading and learning systems. Systems won't make you money. Systems will give you high probabilities, but they won't make you money. You got to get your psychology right. You've got to get your business plan right. You've got to get your strategy right. That's what will take you to the next step, the next level. And then that aha moment hits you on the back of the head when you realize, hang on a minute, this isn't about the squiggly line going to that number. It's seeing the traders behind the candles. It's seeing the traders behind the lines and understanding that it's actually people trading. And it's not some algorithm hunting out my stop loss or hunting out my take profit. That's not an algorithm. That's a bunch of pros that are looking for liquidity in the markets because they got lots of money in. You know, once you start, if you watch how the big companies trade and the pro offices and that sort of thing, and you watch what they're doing, it'll also wake you up a little bit, make you think. It's interesting. Right, so Rob, can you see Euro US dollar on the 5 minutes time frame? Yes, I can. I'll have a look now, Roger. The place looks really relaxing. It is really relaxing. I live by the sea. I have I must say, a rather large property. I have quite a number of rooms in the property and more than one office. I have a flat on it. It's really nice. It's relaxing, and the office that I chose is upstairs and in a very relaxing spot. Like I say, just a bit messy with the screens. I must try and make it more appealing for the videos in the end of the day, and you know, the backlighting and all that fancy stuff. I do try and put a light on here, as you can see, make it. That's as fancy as I get at the moment. But I'm definitely going to look into it because these guys with all the fancy setups do really well. Kevin says, don't bother, Rob. It's the quality of your content that counts, nothing else. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're totally right. As you can see, that's as good as it gets. I don't think it's going to get a lot better than that. I do try and make it neat because it's got to be pleasing on everyone's eye as well. But yeah, I do the best I can. Look, let's be honest. I didn't qualify as a production specialist or an editor or a movie guy or anything like that, or a YouTuber or what have you. I literally made a few YouTube videos in the past about whatever other things I did, and yeah, just in between and what have you, and they never really did anything. And then I decided that this channel would be important, and I went all out at it, and I've only really got a good 1 year's proper experience at doing this now, so I don't think it's too bad for 1 year. It's not too bad. The stuff that I made before that is totally amateur and what have you. So this is the best I've ever done. And I actually did want to see if I can do it. And there you go. I'm just trying to absorb all this free knowledge from a veteran in the game. I've learned some amazing points for you the past week. 30 years of experience, amazing. I'm glad you're learning something from it. That's really important that you learn something from it. Andrew, I love the questions, by the way. It's fantastic. Sokov says, as long as it's comfortable, it's enough. Yeah, it's totally comfortable. Love it to bits. And yeah, I'm glad Peter says it's the content that we're here for. Perfect. Good show. And exactly as Kevin says, it's the content that we're here for. Yeah, I just sometimes look at the other guys and I feel like I need to somehow match up. I wouldn't say compete, but match up, people might be looking at it and thinking, oh, look at that guy, how it's psychological, you look at it and think, oh, that guy's got such a nice setup. Maybe I should have one as well. I don't know. But I can do it, but it's not important to me. It hasn't been that important to me until maybe, recently I did look at it and think, well, maybe I should look at doing something, make it nice. But we'll see. Nice one, Kevin. Oh, no, totally. Absolutely. What do you do? Yeah, I was actually going to put this on the other side, but my neighbors decided to open a blooming school at their house, homeschool. But I mean, they got like 10, 11 children, kids, and they scream and go mad. And basically, I can hear them on that side of the house. And I thought, well, that's not going to work for us, is it? So this was always my office, so I left it here. And the trouble with this always having been my office is it is quite messy. So it's not really set up as a proper studio, let's say. So I make it as nice as possible. I was going to actually set a studio up on the other room across the way, and then I thought, never mind, too much noise anyway. So we'll just leave it here. That's great. I'm glad you guys enjoy the teaching style. At least something. At least that works. Okay, we're sitting on the US 500 here. The euro US dollar is now starting to show signs of weakness, but it hasn't really played out, has it? I'm sure my coffee's cold by now. Goodness me. Ooh. Ice cold. I need a microwave in here. No, you're not flashing its future market content. Given real value will pay off. You should jump on the Trading Nut podcast. You have a lot of experience to share. I'll have a look at that podcast. See what they are. See what they say. That'll probably, send me on my way. I don't want to become too big too quickly as well because I have to handle it as well. So let's grow slowly. Let me teach you guys, and we can learn, and that's good for you. If I've suddenly got hundreds of thousands of people, it might be a bit overwhelming. So I'll get there. I do want the channel to grow, and I do want more people to learn, but I'm also cautious, let's say, of my abilities to look after all the technology, answering all the comments and whatnot as well, and keeping you guys happy. So no, it's I'm a bit worried about it growing too fast as well. So that would be quite tricky. But yeah, I'll have a look at that trading. That might be interesting. Might be interesting. Is there a difference between trading as a funded trader and trading with a small amount of your own money in the markets? Don't know the difference, right? Look, the difference with Kevin, the difference with trading with your own money is it's your own money. And the nice thing about your own money is you have more control over it. But if you lose it, you lose it. So, for example, I'll just take this as a, and yeah, the markets don't know the difference. But the thing with funded accounts is they're not really in the market like a normal cash account. So I'll use this as an example. This is a $25,000 account. You can only lose $1,000 in a day. You can only lose $2,500 overall, which means you're effectively trading with $2,500 cash, because if you lose that, then you've lost your account. But if I lose this account, I lose $100. If I lose a $2,500 cash account, I lose $2,500. That's quite an insane big difference. Now, what you could do with a cash account, if you're really good at winning, is you could start a $2,500 cash account and risk 10% per trade, which is $250, the same as this. But then you would need to win a few trades and get the account up. Otherwise, you're going to lose the whole $2,500. But it is better in the long run to have a cash account. Now, I have nothing against funded accounts. Nothing at all. Because my opinion, it helped me with this to do this with you guys. Because I know that in the back of my mind, it's $100, no problem. Okay. And if you're making profit, they're going to share the profit with you. And I always say to guys, at the end of the day, if you make a couple $100 profit and you paid $100 for the account, take the money out. Then the account's free, man. What are you complaining about? I've seen guys crying that they lost $100,000 on funded accounts because the place closed down. I'm like, how could you leave that much money there? It's insane. I wouldn't. I mean, every month I'd be like, give me my dosh. I want my dosh out. I don't care how much it is. I want my dosh. Get your account, get your money out of there, man. Don't leave your money in there. And then you also know if they're not going to pay you. You also know immediately, these oaks don't want to pay me. You know immediately what's going on. The thing with funded accounts is it's made it easy for a lot of people to get into the markets, because like a lot of guys ask me, can you make a living out of trading? And of course you can. But to make a living out of trading, and you must know, when I started, there was no, as I called it, geared trading the other day, and somebody hadn't heard that terminology yet, one of you guys, leverage trading. But I always call it geared trading. And 1 to 100, 1 to 500, whatever the case. That wasn't available in my day. You didn't get that sort of thing. And somebody asked me about gold earlier. Let's just have a look at it now. So, you got to look at that and say, that's really, it's like you needed a lot of money to make money on the market. So I started trading when there was no leverage, and I had a certain amount of money, and I still had to have my business on the side to sustain me and my family. Obviously, my business was quite successful, and that grew, and I was able to grow the account to quite a reasonable size. And then geared trading came along, leverage trading came along, which made it insanely great. And that for me was a big leap forward in trading. And I thought, well, this is great. I can now take $10,000 and trade $100,000. Well, oh, that's amazing. I can take 100,000 and trade $1 million. That's insane. But in the beginning, you have to learn very quickly that if you lose 10% of your account, you're going to lose all your money. But you figure these things out over the years, and it was great. It really helped a lot of traders like myself get ahead. And now what's come into the market is these funded trader markets, prop firms as they call them. Now, at first, I was very, very negative towards them, and I was very anti this whole story because as far as I'm concerned, another big scam, another big this, another big that. But then I started to think about it, and once again, another aha moment came to me. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. You know, there's a whole bunch of people out there that can't afford $25,000, that can't afford $100,000 to trade. And these guys offer that account to you if you can trade, and you can pay $100, $200, $300 for it. I thought, well, actually, wait a minute. It's actually a really good leap forward. It's an insane leap forward in the markets, but you just have to control it in such a way that you get your money out and you take your money out as soon as you can. So, you know, this year for you guys and the previous account, and we still got, by the way, all tickling along. I looked at it and thought, let me try it out. And this is the first time in my life that I've tried out prop firms or funded trader markets and that. And, well, I haven't had a bad experience yet, but you never know. But I think it's a good thing for people that can't get into the markets or that just want to try it out or whatever the case. And you don't stand to lose much. And at the end of the day, I think it's great. Yeah. So that's why I'm quite happy to just leave the link in the description for everyone to get an account if they want it, because I don't mind. You know, I've been converted, let's say, into on thinking about it. It helps a lot of people that don't have $25,000 or $100,000 to put in the market. It helps a lot of people because, you know, you want to make a living. You want to make a living out of it, and to do that, you need a rather large sum of money. And if you don't have that large sum of money, where do you get it? The bank's not going to give it to you to trade with, are they? So yeah, I'm actually quite all right with it now. Hi, Luigi. I'll look closer at the funded trader account. Do you have to pass a test there? Actually, Kevin, there's two types of accounts. I'm just going to show you on this because I can. You have it there, I think. I'm just going to show you guys quickly, just so that you get an understanding of it. Okay, so you get different types of accounts, Kevin. You get this, which is a one-step evaluation. And this is evaluation, so you do the evaluation. If you pass it, you get a real account. And then you have a profit target of 10%, a max overall drawdown of 6%, which is you lose $2,500, or a daily drawdown of 4%. You're only allowed to lose 4% in a day on any of these accounts. You can have a 50,000 account, a 25,000 account, 100,000 account for these amounts of money. Then you get the two-step evaluation, which works slightly different to the one step. You can just read the rules, you know, as far as, you know, the targets are different and the prices are different on the accounts. And then you get the instant funding account. Instant funding, you got to be so careful. Max overall drawdown is 5%. Max daily drawdown is 3% on an instant funding account. So you don't have to pass anything. You can literally buy this account, but you are looking for trouble. You know, if you take a 25,000 account for $179, 5%, that's $1,200 that you can lose in total before they take your account away. So the evaluation accounts are more user-friendly. That's all I say. Just for that information. Just thought I'd go and show you that so that you understand it a little bit better. Back to the trading account. But yeah, I don't say go for funded accounts. So yeah, that's how it works, Kevin. So you don't, you know, there are those that they now offer instant funding, but you have to be confident in yourself, or confident enough in yourself to take an instant funding account, because you can only lose 5%. So, you know, the other one is you have to prove yourself and then they'll give you an account, but then you can lose 10%. So, you know, with the instant account, they're obviously saying to you, if you can't do it, you're not going to do it, because you're going to lose your account if you lose 5%. It's leverage upon leverage. Amazing moment in time for traders with low capital. Use these trading films to build your live account. You just need to be consistent and have a good run with your edge. You see that at the end of the day. Oh, Amazade. Mohammed, yesterday I passed my first phase 1 of prop firm. Fantastic stuff. That's absolutely amazing. Congratulations. And I hope you make loads of money. Just remember what I said to you guys, and Mohammed as well. You've passed your first phase, and if there's a second phase, sometimes there's only one phase, and you get in and you're making money and you make a profit. Take the profit. Don't leave it in the account. Take the profit, and then your account's free, right? Take as much profit as you can from them. Don't leave it there. If it's $200, take it. Take it out. Don't leave it with them. Don't be like, oh, I'm building my account up. Don't build your account up. Even if you've got a cash account. If you open a $100,000 cash account or a $10,000 cash account, and make your psychology understand that that's the size of your account. That's the size of your account. That will always be the size of your account. My account is $100,000. If it goes up to $120,000 in 1 month, I will withdraw the $20,000 and it will once again be a $100,000 account. And if in the following month it does go down a bit to the $90,000, I won't necessarily top it up, but I can if I want to. And I'll try and keep it at that $100,000 spec. And then you work according to that with your strategy. That way, you don't get overconfident. That way, you don't start trading with too much money. Then, if you get to a point in your life where you decide, yeah, I don't like having a $100,000 account anymore. I want a $200,000 account. Make it a $200,000 account if you've got the money, and then trade with that. But don't do it with the funded accounts. What you do with the funded accounts, you've got a $25,000 account. You keep it as a $25,000 account. When you make a profit, you take the profit out. Withdraw the profit. Keep it. Don't try and build it up to a big account or something like that. Don't do that. Take your money. Take your money out. Hi, Andrew. Welcome. So yeah, I'm really proud of the guys when they're successful and they do well. That's actually great. So as I say, the natural psychology of every human being is when you have an account is to try and see it grow, to watch it grow, to watch your 100,000 become 200,000, become 300,000, but you're leaving it in a broker account and you need to take it out, put it in the bank and watch it grow there. I mean, if you want to, write it on a spreadsheet. It will make you feel better. Okay, so someone said we should go short on gold. I'm not happy to go short on gold. And let me explain why. Let's just pull it there. You'll see that there's a big trend support that's run through here really nicely. There she goes. There's your big trend support. There's a big demand of money that it just broke through. Broke through that. And now it wants to go back up and it wants to retest this or retest this. I don't see it going through this and going all the way to the top. I see it retesting, breaking to the downside. So it could go short. But I'm not comfortable with it just yet for one reason only, and that is that line right there. That's not making me comfortable just yet for a short. Because you see all these bottoms, bottom. It's just telling me to be cautious. So I think what we should do if we want to go short on gold is just let it break these lows. Let it break these lows. Let it give us a good signal like a 28.70 here. Say we're going short now, because then it will go short, but it'll go short all the way down to these levels down here, which is not a bad trade at all. It'll be a good risk to reward. So yeah, it's coming back to retest, probably go short, and you're probably right about the possible short. I'm just not 100% comfortable. Now here's the other thing that I'm seeing. Can you guys see it? The head and shoulders. Okay, the head and shoulders is telling me this is a short. But the shoulder, I mean, the head and shoulders is only valid if it goes below this yellow line here that I just drew in. It's got to be below this. It's got to close below this support level here. So I think if it closes below this and gives us a red candle, we can actually take this as a nice short trade. Let's put an alert in at that level. And okay. And if it gives us an alert, then we'll take the short. Because then it'll play out the head and shoulders. It'll play out the whole head. The whole head will take us down to around this 28 level, which is what I'm looking at down here. There's money down here. So that'll be great. So that is about that length here. Perfect. So the head and shoulders, that's telling you short. The break through this trend support is telling you short. The retest is telling you short. But I think it needs to break below this level to give us a proper short trade. But yes, we can take a short on gold actually. That's not bad. The status on the team's prop firm challenge, we are on $24,703.18. So we're $297 down overall. And that was only because of mistakes in the beginning, like the first $50 that we lost by mistake, and then there was a couple of trades that went astray. Nothing serious. I haven't drawn a statement recently, but I will draw one. I'll do one on Tuesday for you guys, a statement, and then we can have a look at it. But the first couple of trades were a bit nasty, and then we've made a profit from there, and then the US 500 was a bad trade on Friday. I'll draw a statement for us next week. We can have a wee look at it, and we can see where we are. But at the moment, we're still a little bit down, but we did better this time than we did in the beginning, so it's not too bad. So the team's trades are on 24,703. Okay, so we can have a vote. You've heard what I've said about gold. You've seen I put the alert in. And anyone who in the team, if you guys want to vote, we can vote and decide if we want to go short on gold. Okay? If you want to go short on gold, you can all tell me now. If I get 3 yeses, I'll go short on gold. Okay? Right now. You guys can tell me as we stand right now. So I'll need some votes here. And then I'll take a short on gold for us. But then at least we'll have a trade in, because at the moment we're out of trades. We need some trades to make us make up. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Nobody wants to vote. Nobody wants to take the decision. That's the big thing, guys. We've got to take the decisions. We've got to decide. Look at that. It's coming down. It's falling fast. Okay, yes, if it breaks down. Not short yet. Okay, not short yet. Okay. It's going to be short in a minute. There's a wee bit of time left on it. It looks like a trade that we could look at. That's definitely. Are you trading on the 1 minute trade? Ooh. Oh. Imagine trading this on 1 minute. Boom, boom. See what that looks like on a 1 minute chart, guys. Oh, no. The information in these candles is horrifyingly useless. There's a cup and handle. That means it's going to go up a bit. It hasn't broken through that level yet. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We could put a standing order in here, down here, but if it spikes, then we're going to get taken out on that order. So that's what a 1 minute chart looks like. Look at that. Look at that movement. That would be scary, wouldn't it? Mohammed, you've got lots and lots and lots of guts. Yeah, I'll tell you what. trading on the 1 minute chart. Just be careful, because this is going to take you out, eh? This information is so unreliable. Interesting. Okay, let's go back to normal. See what we got. Yes, it is noisy on the 1 minute. You see, there's different ways of trading, and if you want to trade at speed, the trouble is you won't be in the game forever if you trade at speed. It is gonna take you out over time. It's better to take it easy and make the trades over time. It is not so, Kevin. Yeah, my nerves were shredded for a while. I traded those time frames for a while, and my nerves were shredded. I had enough. I totally had enough of it. I don't like it. The information is terribly unreliable. But if you are looking, for example, if you're looking for a trade like this, and you want to see, for example, if it's going to go through that line, you put it on the 5 minute chart. You can see if it's going to go through that line. If it breaks through, you can watch it go through, and you can take your trade. But to actually trade on those time frames takes some nerves of steel. And then also, it's so demoralizing when you win 7 trades in a row, and then the 8th trade takes all your money. Ooh, that's demoralizing. But if you have a strategy, I actually traded the lower time frames with some strategy, which means I wasn't really scalping. I had a strategy. I was trading pretty much a similar strategy to what I'm trading now, with different amounts of money, because risking $1,000 on a 5 minute time frame can be pretty scary on 5 pips or something like that. So no, I was risking a lot less. But yeah, I had a strategy, and I ended up kind of breaking even on that, and it was okay. But all the work you do, it's not worth it. Watch for structure break on the 1 minute, combining 15 minutes for 60%. Yep. That's good. It's good. Clearly, that's the problem, is you're relying on a system to make the money. Okay, Eugene's short on gold. All right, that's great. And it's a fair short. Definitely a fair short. As Peter says, the short-term time frames will bankrupt you. Most likely they will. As I always say, 99% of traders lose money on the 5 minute time frames, and the psychology is, if you're a human being, is if I tell you that, you will tell me that you'll be in the 1%. You're gonna beat it. You're gonna win. Same as if I tell you 70% of traders lose money position trading. You're all gonna tell me you're gonna be in the 30% that's gonna win, but you will be, because you'll be listening to me, so you'll be okay. Lauren, yes, if it breaks support, then short gold, but what is the target? The target is 28 at the moment. Okay, 28. Look at this. Can you see it? Look left. There's your target. It's around 28. It's not a bad target. It's okay. It's decent. And then we'll put the stop loss at around just up here somewhere, 29. 29.10. I'll have a look at it. Stop loss up here. This would actually reach 27.72. If I look at this, it's quite a nice run down here. See, there's a level here, and 27.82, 27.82. If I look at it, it's going to be a little bit closer. And that line there, there's your next line. All the way down there. It's a decent risk to reward, I think. It's not too bad. It'll be quite decent if it goes that way. As Kevin says, it hasn't quite broken down enough yet. And Lauren wants to go long on the indexes. Mohamed's having a good old chuckle. And gold is not quite broken down enough yet. Okay, let's go look at the index here. And I understand when you say you want to go long on the indexes, but the risk to reward's not that great. I think the reward is going to be over here, and it's going to come back down again. I think the indexes are under a bit of pressure at the moment. I would have gone long as it bounced out of this support, but I'm a bit concerned about this level here. I think it might just fail and come on down. So just be cautious here. Let's just draw this in. It is kind of breaking to the upside. It's a difficult one to call this. I know you're saying go long on the indexes, but I think there's a correction here. I think we're waiting for it to get down a bit further. I think the indexes can come down just a little bit more. But let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. UK was looking good earlier. UK wasn't looking too bad. Germany, DAX. I used to love the DAX. DAX has made me so much money in my time. There's a cup and handle developing on the DAX, so we might get a good run on the DAX. The trouble is, if these indexes go up, then, you know, gold might just go with it. What's Brent doing? Brent is kind of going short as well. Long, short. Yeah. Let's see if it breaks to the downside, because I'm not a big fan of going short on the gold. Andrew says not yet. It's been bullish all this, yes, so it's due to head down, yeah. Okay. So, actually, it's good to have Mohamed on the team here, because he's trading on the lower time frames, and I really would like to know how your success goes and how it goes for you. And already you've passed a prop firm challenge, so obviously getting there and doing okay. I know that the lower time frames can be quite demoralizing. They've struck me down a couple of times, but at the end of the day, it's all about system, strategy, keep it constant. You need a system to get the high probability trade. You need a strategy to make the money, business plan, and you need to keep it constant to make the profit. So, you know, whatever you choose to do, whatever you feel comfortable with, just make sure you've got a strategy that works with it, and then keep it constant. Don't vary it. Euro, Great British Pound, alert. Ooh. That's interesting. Euro, Great British Pound, alert. Okay, we'll have a look at the Aussie dollar, US dollar as well. Lincoln, the oil is attempting a breakout, but it's likely false. Yes, I agree. I think it's false. Yeah, the Euro Great British Pound has moved to the downside, and oops, sorry. And there is the bottoms there. That's your support. It's breaking through. It's breaking down. There is a big support down here holding it up as well, though. Will it go through this, or will it bounce off of this? Probably bounce off of this. But yeah, You can get about 300 or 400 points out of it. Very tight trade. Euro, Great British Pound. Not going to get a lot out of it, but you'll get something out of it. Interesting. Let's see if we can make anything out of this trade, by the way. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, so this is Euro, Great British Pound, Aussie dollar, US dollar. Aussie dollar, US dollar, I think I called it earlier as a big sell. See that it's broken through this trend support. There is another short-term resistance lying down here. There was a demand level that it broke through as well, which is pretty much a support. It's broken through that, heading to the downside. It's continuing on short for now. It'll probably stop round about the 62.4, 62.6. It's going to stop down here somewhere. So it's pretty short at the moment, but it's already quite way into its run. So Aussie dollar, US dollar is short. Same as New Zealand dollar, US dollar, short. It's broken down, broken to the downside. Once again, heading down. Euro, Great British Pound. I wonder if we can get a trade out of those guys, out of this Euro, Great British Pound. If I put the stop loss, if we put it as a sell, and we put the stop loss at 82.8, which is, well, let's make it 82.9 just to be on the safe side. Let's see if we can get a trade out of this. I don't want a big trade out of it. I just want to see. And let's see if we can get anything out of it. It'll be 82.3. I just want to see if there's how's the risk to reward. Nah, it's not good enough, guys. It's not a good trade. No, we're not going to do it. The risk to reward is just sad. I've got to put the stop loss here. I've got to put the take profit here. This is too close. Too aggressive on this. It's not going to work. Sometimes you just got to leave them, eh? Sometimes you just got to leave them behind and don't worry about it, man. Just let it go. Okay. Euro, Great British Pound, eh? Gold hasn't moved. We got Aussie dollar, US dollar. That's really falling now. Aussie dollar, US dollar. It's really falling now. It's a big short. Kevin is short in the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Well done, Kevin. You're doing well. That's a good trade. You see how it broke through there and it's heading to the downside? That's a good trade. Lauren, well, you're right. The index seems to be reversing now. It's a short-term thing, but we'll see what happens. I'm just waiting for a good entry there. Dum, 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 dum. Whoa, USD CAD. Wow, Eugene. Yeah, New Zealand dollar, US dollars heading the same way. Totally is. Okay, so that's moving at the moment, eh? That's moving quite seriously. What's the news? Is there any no events? The events are gone. Jobless claims, of course, today's jobless claims. So the US dollar is obviously getting affected by everything getting moved around. Where's the gold? Boom, boom. Roger said short the gold. So, yeah. The US 30 is moving down. The US 500 is moving down. There's the US 500 moving down. There's the US 30 moving down. Okay, you got to be careful at the opening of markets, by the way, guys. And the US is obviously, I don't know what the time is now, but US is obviously opening, and you're going to get this move to the one side and then swing back the other way. Tariffs again on Monday. I love the tariffs, man. The tariffs are a new thing. I gotta say, I love the tariffs, these new tariffs. They're not great for our country, where I live. We've been sort of blocked off from America. They don't want to give us any money anymore. It's okay. You know, almost like getting sanctions. Yeah, no, it's insane. So the US 500 is taking a bit of a drop down here. Now you see it comes down, then it might swing around and go up. For those of you that watch the 5-minute charts, that's what the US 500 looks like at the moment. It's come down, swept, it's going back up now. We don't trade on those time frames. For those of you that do, good luck, man. Good luck. Hope it works for you. Gold's turned green again, so it doesn't want to go down. It doesn't want to break through that level at the moment. Tomorrow is Friday. The US dollar, Canadian dollar is flying to the upside. I expected it to drop off, but it's held this support, held it well, and it's bounced to the upside. I was actually thinking it was going to continue on short and break through, but it didn't. It bounced up. You see, must never assume anything. Assumption's the mother of all evil. Luckily, I didn't. Otherwise, I would have shorted it. I didn't assume anything. I waited, and it went that way. Always wait. Always wait and see what happens. Yep, the US 30 is moving down. Now, the problem that you always find is, what was that message you removed there, Eugene? Oh, no. US dollar, Japanese yen. Must be up there somewhere. All the way at the top. US dollar, Japanese yen. It is worth watching for a long. You see it's bounced off all these support levels, bouncing out of this level here, heading to the upside, broken through that area there. It's looking quite reasonable. Looks like you might get a long trade out of it. One thing I hate about the Japanese yen, though, is I'm normally asleep when that thing starts to take effect. So you wake up tomorrow morning and check what the price is like. It's kind of weird. Yeah, USD CAD. It's fine. Don't worry. I saw that. I've been trading now for 2 years. I don't have experience with brokers, but from the very beginning, I'm trading with prop firms. That's great. Prop firms are great. And you probably failed 7 challenges because you trade on the lower time frames that I get. But well done. And I hope it does well. Okay, Kevin, you've got to look at it from a different perspective from Mohammed, because he's trading on a 1-minute time frame. He's trading on a very low time frame. He's effectively doing the difficult one. Trading on those time frames, as I've told you guys, 99% of people lose. It's going to be a different kind of toughness if you position trade it on a 4-hour. I'm glad I've helped, Mohammed. I'm just trying to explain to Kevin that if you trade on 1 minute or 5 minutes, it's a totally different ball game to trading on a position on a 4-hour, 1 hour. And but as long as you keep the strategy, as obviously Mohammed has done, that's where you're going with it. You just got to keep that psychology and that strategy to get yourself ahead. But it is difficult to trade on those lower time frames. But if you do it on the higher time frames, it'll take you longer. But if you're patient, you'll learn more, and you'll get there, and you'll find your way to success. Euro, Great British Pound crossing support. Let's have a look. Yep, there you go. It's crossing over. There's literally, I think, 4 minutes left on that candle. But like I said, I had a look at the trade, and the risk to reward is just not there for me. I like the trade if you took it up here. I don't like the trade here because there's a big support here from the daily. And if you take the trade here, it's going to run into this support. There's a support there, but there's a big support down here. Let try and show you on the day chart, and let's see if you can see it. See, there's your major support on the day chart down there. Now, if you take this back to the 4 hour, it looks slightly different, and you get this picture where there's some support there. So the support you're looking at is short-term 4 hour support. Now it's great, and it's broken through that, and it's going short. But there's a barrier here, a big barrier on the day. If it runs into that, it could bounce out. So I would like to have taken the short, but based on the risk to reward being I could lose 200 and make 200, I'm just kind of like, there's no risk to reward. Okay. Trading on every time frame, 4 hour, 15 or 15 minutes in one. As long as you use the strategy, it really doesn't matter what time frame you use, just as long as you understand that the lower time frames are pretty dodgy. YouTube are playing more adverts than since I joined. Most annoying. Good night. I'm here in Sydney. Best of luck to all. Good night, Andrew. Thanks for coming. Kevin, you know, no matter what happens with adverts with YouTube, whether I turn them on or off, whether they will always play, and YouTube will always make the money out of them. So at the end of the day, they are what they are. And I've noticed this year, you know, being part of the creator thing, they inform us as to what's going on and what have you. And now they're adding more mid-roll. They're also, I noticed a couple of things that I'm watching as well, and I like to watch on TV as well. And I noticed that before you could skip just about every ad, and now you can't. There's quite a lot where you just can't skip. It just keeps you going for 30 seconds or 60 seconds or something like that. So there has been a lot of changes at YouTube with regards to their advertising campaigns and what have you. But that's the way of the world, guys. It's the way of the world. The only way around it is if you become a premium client, then you don't have to watch the ads. But then you got to pay them monthly. Yeah, that's fine. My problem was that I was not taking profits and not moving my stop loss, which I learned from you. Otherwise, I would have passed a long time ago, thanks to you. Yep. You got to do that. You got to take your profits. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kevin, the only other way is to have the YouTube Premium, which is another option. And then you don't have to watch ads. You got to pay for YouTube. But I got different YouTube accounts for the family and that, so I'd end up paying for every single account, and it's insane. I suppose I could pay for one on the TV or something, but okay. Cancel the cable of Netflix, Premium, YouTube, and Sports PKG. It's cheaper than the Premium YouTube is. I've also got Netflix, and I've got, obviously I watch YouTube. My sports I have to get in South Africa, I have to get it off DSTV, which is a bit annoying because they're quite expensive. They're the most expensive. And I tried getting it off B-Sky B and Sky Sports and all that sort of stuff, and they wouldn't allow me because I'm in South Africa, which means I would have to have a VPN. And if I put a VPN in, then I can't watch my Netflix every time I have to change the VPN. It's a nightmare. So I just leave it and I just pay DSTV for my sports for the time being until such time as they get sent on their way and we can get something else. Because I can't get like sports, Big AG or anything like that, yeah. I would wish I could. So we have a slightly different, scenario here. And I do like to watch my motorsport, and I do like to watch my football and stuff like that. And yeah, it's you got to pay for it. It's one of those things. Nothing you can do about it. But these days, everything's online. There was a time with DSTV, for example, in this country where you had a decoder. I don't use that anymore. I just connect online. Everything's connected online now. I had Showmax for a while. I dumped it. We've got Disney in the household. Hardly watch it. I'm subscribed to all these different things, man. It's crazy. Yeah, that's exactly it, Lincoln. I got the same problem. I pay more to watch my sport than anything else. The sport is insanely expensive. That's what I'm paying for at the end of the day. I'm paying, most money goes towards my sports channels. But it's relaxing. It's something that relaxes me, something I enjoy, something that takes my mind off all these other things, which, if you're having a stressful moment, which I don't anymore, then football or sport or something was always something to watch. There was a stage in my life, geez, when I watched every single sport on earth. And I had to cut most of them out because it was ruining my life, man. I'd literally sit and watch a 5-day test match on TV. Or cricket. That's crazy. It's insanity. I don't do that anymore. You love UFC, but watch it almost every week. See, everyone loves their sport. Everybody's got a sport that they love and they watch. We're all hooked on that. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just one of those things, eh? But I'll tell you what, like I say, there was a stage in my life where I was watching, man, you name it, there was a sport, I was watching it, and then I realized, no, this is crazy. This has got to stop. So I reduced it down to 1 or 2. And even then, I don't watch all the games. I'll just watch 1 or 2 here and there. I've reduced it right down, I must say. That was nuts. Like anything's on now, I'm there watching it. Yeah. Yeah, I love F1. Totally, Kevin. Totally. That's my thing. Love F1. I kept F1 going. I must say, I didn't let that go. That I kept going. That was important to me. So I still watch that. So that costs a fortune, by the way. I have to get F1 in this country. That's the expensive, but that's I can actually, if I just watched the football, it would be half the price. But because I watch the F1, it's double the price. But I like it. I like watching it. I enjoy it. I enjoy following it. What the hell? So I pay for it. Yeah, that's it. But I think I dropped a lot of it because back in the day, the only thing we had was the TV, and that was our entertainment. So I watched all the sports and that. Now I've got you got all this online stuff and what have you. So there's a lot of other things to do as well. You got to get a life outside. And now you live at the beach. You live in a town where I've got everything at my fingertips. So there's lots of other things to do as well. I'd rather go to lunch and watch the waves than sit and watch TV or sport or whatever. So yeah, things have changed a bit. But there was a time. There definitely was a time. This gold is not gonna do its thing. What's the S500 doing now, guys? What's it doing? It's going back up. Like I said to you, see, you get this open. It comes. Well, it's not open, but you get this move, and then it starts going back up again. Yeah. That was a vicious move. There must have been jobs figures or something. Yeah. Ooh, there's a President Trump speech. Ooh, guys, let's not trade the indexes. There's a President Trump speech. Oh my goodness. That's going to be insane, I'm sure. Yeah, I saw the preseason testing has started. Yeah, like you say, it's not that interesting yet. It's just interesting to see the liveries of the cars and stuff. But no, you don't know what's going to happen until that first race. You can say this one's fastest, that one's fastest, but it ain't really. Suddenly on the first race, everything changes. But it's just interesting to see the liveries and all the drivers and whatnot. That's all. But yeah, that's sure everybody's not interested in Formula One here. This is trading. Yeah. So don't forget, guys, win rates are meaningless. And you got to work your strategy to make the money. So many people believe in win rates. Joint British conference later. Yeah, I just saw this here. President Trump's speech. Ooh. Maybe that's what's like moving things around. And then there's Fed's bar speech. No, let's just sit on our hands here, guys. We can always get a trade next week. It's okay. No problem. Let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. I see everything's moving around and I'm wondering why. And now I can actually see why. There's a bit of noise going on. You see what I said to you guys earlier? It's not maths. It's so subjective. It's all subjective. These markets are moving around because President Trump's having a speech or the Fed's having an announcement. That's all that's moving the markets around. It's got nothing to do with maths. It's got to do with what's happening out there. All these lines do is tell you, you draw a line in the sand, you can see what it's done in the past, and it'll probably in all likelihood do the same in the future, like I always tell you guys. It's all about repetitiveness. Human beings are creatures of habit. We do the same things over and over again, and that's what's happening. That's what happens all the time. Gold will probably go short, but we'll have to wait for it to go through that level for it to give us an indication that it is going to continue on to the short side. Lauren, good luck all. Thank you, Rob, for your time and all your patience. Thanks, Lauren. Thank you. Great to have you on board, by the way. And I'm really appreciate having you guys here, keeping me company and chatting. I'm enjoying it. As you guys know, I enjoy doing this. And I enjoy the fact that I'm making new friends here. And the longer we can be together, the better. I'm hoping we can grow this into a nice team, nice big team. What we've got here is fantastic, though. This is really good. And it's from all over the world. People from all over the world. That's insane to think about that in today's day and age. In the old days, you couldn't, I remember when I used to write letters to people overseas. Now we're literally sitting here kind of talking to each other. It's great. It's absolutely great. And we're living all over the place, if you think about it. Far and way apart. Crazy. In different time zones, different places, different areas. It's insane. Yeah, so do you trade the news? See this? Do you trade the news? It's so difficult to trade the news because you never really know what somebody's going to say or what rubbish is going to come out of their mouth. And it can cause markets to move in insane ways. So I prefer not to trade the news if I can help it. And this is where that trailing stop question that we had earlier, where we put the trailing stops in and we follow our trades. When something like that happens, you actually want to move your trailing stops out and away. Maybe even take them away because you're going to get this insane moving around that's going to affect your trading. This is not too bad. I've seen worse on the 4-hour. I've seen some big moves on the 4-hour. What's happening with Canada? Are we getting because we're getting this whole move here? Yeah, no, they seem to be okay. That seems to be fine. Just keeping an eye on the US 500 here. And there we go, Brazil, and we've got from all over Florida. I tell you what, but Peter, if you're living in Florida and you're moving back to West Sussex in April, it's got to be because you loved West Sussex, because Florida, I believe, is a fantastic place. But I suppose you've got to like America as well. I love South Africa. I'm really happy here. I love Cape Town, my home. No intention of moving, but I'm also at my age, I don't want to move anymore. It's enough. What better life can you have? Living on the coastline, enjoying life. I don't need to go and live anywhere else. A lot of my friends moved back to the UK, and they're all quite happy there as well. But for me, it would be a bit on the cold side. I do like the colder weather, but I think it would be a bit on the cold side for me. I think that always becomes a problem, Peter, that you tend to miss home. A lot of my friends that moved away from here miss home, but it's difficult because, you see, I come from that side, but I've lived most of my life on this side, so this is more home now. So if I went back there, that wouldn't really be home anymore, and that becomes complicated. So I'm actually more South African than anything else, even though I'm from there. Florida, move, nothing nice now. The sun. Okay, I don't know, Sophia. If you say so. If you've got 3 kids and 7 grandkids in the UK, you've got to go back. Yeah, no, you've got to go there. Kevin says the UK is not in good shape. I'd stay away if possible. Somebody used the terminology that you did about your back wall earlier. I don't want to swear on YouTube, but it ends with hole. A lot of my mates have told me it is a bit of a, but they seem happy there. I don't know, but they do call it that, yeah. I Drickus du Plessis is famous, but I really don't know him. Yeah. He lives in South Africa, yeah. He's from here, yeah, but I don't know him. Yeah, he punches the hell out of people, that's all I know. Very famous, yeah. Certainly. It's quite the oak. And we've got our Formula One bike rider, Brad Binder. Yeah, him too. We don't have many sportsmen out there, but 1 or 2. Our rugby team is world champions. We're top of the notch with that. So yeah, that's okay. Not good there. Everything seems to be broken. Okay. What we find here, Kevin, at the moment, and I know you know South Africa, but what we're finding here at the moment is in the Western Cape, everything is working. Everything's maintained. The roads are maintained. The traffic lights work. Everything's working like a normal city, just like a European city. Decent European city, that is. But north of the Western Cape, everything north of us, all those beautiful little towns that we had, all those nice little places that were all nice and working and fresh, have all become desolate, and they've deteriorated in a really bad way. You drive into those towns, the roads are full of potholes, the train stations are gone, and they're just old wrecked buildings, and the town looks horrible, and it's starting to fall apart and all that. Most of those towns north of us are just looking bad. They're just looking really bad. They just haven't been maintained. Just poor management, really. Poor management right across the board, from the top down, I suppose. And look, the Western Cape's run by a different political party, and that probably makes a bit of the difference. But there is a government of national unity now. They're trying to work the country out a bit better. But yeah, no, it is a problem. It is a problem if the guys don't know and they don't know how to do it. It happens. So the country's a bit run down north of us as well. But down here, it's great. Absolutely great. But I think the UK is suffering from a similar situation now. A lot of their towns are in a bad state or in a bad place. So I don't know why, but It's obviously just bad management or poor management of the towns, let's say. You see, you've got potholes as well in the UK. That's actually insane if you think about it. Because, UK is supposed to be really a first world country. I could still make the excuse that South Africa is probably a third world country, acting as a first world country. But the UK really should be a first world country. And it's horrifying to think that a country like that would have potholes in the road. I mean, you guys have even got a system for, for helping people that are out of work and paying them money and all the rest of it. What do you call it? Dole and all that sort of stuff. We don't have that. And it's crazy to think that a country with that, you guys have got NHS and all that sort of stuff. You'd think the country like that would be okay, that would be looked after, but something's wrong. Something's obviously not right. It's not good, eh? Not good. Okay, so we're not going short on gold right now. It's not looking like a trade. Maybe I'll have a look at it again later. But I think we'll call it a day. And we'll get on with it. I'll have a video out for you guys tomorrow. And then I'll definitely put the weekend... Over the weekend, I'll put a video together specifically on the week ahead and trades for the week, like I did last week, a weekly thing, which will go out. And I think what we'll do, the A team and the members will get it first, and then everybody else, I think, will get it on Monday. So yeah, I'll put the weekend one out. Don't get me started on the NHS. Peter, thanks a lot. Kevin, it's good chatting to you, man. I love chatting to you. It's great. Let's call it a day, and I'll try and keep an eye on the gold. We'll see if we get if we get a short trade on it. I'll look into it. But you know what happens with the gold is it normally happens when I'm not looking, or in the evening or whatever here. So kind of spikes into the area, and then I come back tomorrow and I'm like, oh damn, missed that. But hopefully we catch it. If we catch it, that's great. The US 500 does seem to be going sort of sideways. I suppose old Trumpy's having a wee chat. We'll see what happens with that. But I mean, if we get no further trades this week, that's okay. We'll do the statement on Tuesday. We'll have a look at how our trades went for the month, and then we'll have a look at what we're going to do for next week. I think that's the best. Guys, thanks a lot. I think time for me to head on, do my thing, and as you know, feed the dogs, the beagles. Watch a video and feed a beagle. Yeah, that's it. That's what it's all about. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Do enjoy your weekend if I don't see you before then. And do come back for all the other live shows, and let's have some fun.